Okay, big stuff happening on the Jean Carroll front. Remember her? She's the questionably attractive woman who alleged that Trump raped her in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room. She's also an author and a connoisseur of insane cat names. I'll give you an example, and I'm not kidding about this. The name of one of her cats is Vagina T Fireball or Fireballs, depending on where you read it. So that's the level of woman we're dealing with here. That's who Trump is having to deal with, who claims that he raped her. But we're going to get into the claims in a minute. Anyway, here's the big development. A new misconduct complaint has been filed against her attorney, Robert Kaplan. Now, the reason for the complaint is that Kaplan didn't properly disclose, or at least the complaint says, he didn't properly disclose about $6.5 million of outside funding for E. Jean Carroll's case against Trump. And here's the reason that's important. The funding came from who else but our favorite Democrat donor, Trump hater, Trump critic, and Epstein bro, Reid Hoffman. That's right. He's the one who put up $6.5 million. It was a nonprofit linked to him. That he funded, that put up the money. So, and let's just be clear about Reid, by the way. Reid built a relationship with Epstein after he had pled guilty to actual sex trafficking. That's when Reid built his relationship with Epstein. Trump, on the other hand, ended his relationship with Epstein and called the police going into the sex trafficking stuff because Trump knew something wasn't right. So he called the cops on him. So anyway, if you want to compare the character of Trump and Reid Hoffman, that right there is enough to do it. Anyway, there's something in addition to the $6.5 million. Also, FEC docs disclosures show that Kaplan, her attorney, was also a Hillary Clinton donor. So that raises the question of whether or not the entire thing was politically motivated as well. So hopefully, this has gone before the New York bar. Hopefully something's going to happen with it. And just in case you've forgotten how insane, how ludicrous this case against Trump is, I wanted to go over the worst parts of it. And I promise you it's worth it. So first off, one of the biggest problems, E. Jean Carroll can't tell us when she got raped. And I don't mean she can't tell us the week or even the month. She can't tell us the year when she got raped. She thinks it was sometime in 1995 or 1996. Now, I have multiple friends who have been sexually assaulted or molested, and they can tell you exactly when it happened, down to the time of day. You don't forget that. They know. E. Jean Carroll doesn't know the year. Now, she also never spoke about this. She talked about it to two friends right after it happened. One of them told her to go to the police. She didn't do it. And she never spoke about it again for 20 years. Then she came out and started talking about it in 2018. And two things were happening in 2018. One was the Me Too movement. And second, it's too good to be true. Second, she was publicizing a new book. So what better way to get attention for your new book than in the Me Too era to say that the president of the United States raped you? So zero credibility there. There are no witnesses. There's no security footage, no other shoppers who were there. There's no physical injury. She never went to see a doctor afterward. So there's nothing like that. And then it's really funny. She can't remember the year she was raped, but she remembers she was wearing this specific black Donna Karan coat. The only problem is that black Donna Karan coat wouldn't be made for years. So it's possible E. Jean Carroll's a time traveler. That might explain one of the reasons she seems to be delusional. But I'm guessing she's got it wrong. I'm guessing she's got the wrong coat there because she was never raped. She's making the entire thing up, and she started doing it to sell her stupid book. Now, there's also the DNA issue. So she claimed that there's DNA on the sleeve of the dress she was supposedly wearing at the time. So Trump, during the case, Trump said, hey, let me give you a DNA sample. The judge said, nope, we're not accepting it. So she says she's got DNA. Trump says, oh, well, okay, here you go. Let me give you some DNA. You can match it up. Judge says, nope, not taking your DNA. Anyway, they end up testing the DNA on the dress. And what does it show? Well, it doesn't show sperm cells. There are no sperm cells involved in it. So, I mean, talking about delusional, why in the world would you even bring the dress in if you knew that was going to happen? Then she really hurt herself in 2019 when she was she's doing an interview with Anderson Cooper, and she talked about how women think rape is sexy. Oh, that sexy rape. She really thought it was fantastic. Now, she came out later and she said, oh, well, I was talking about the idea of rape and like what you see in Game of Thrones and stuff, not the actual thing, not actual rape. I don't think that's good, but the idea of rape is sexy. Now, if it seems like she's taking rape kind of lightly there, well, that's not the only time. Her friend, remember we said she had talked to two of her friends about it after it supposedly happened. One of the friends said that when she was talking to her on the phone about it, E. Jean Carroll was laughing about it. I know that's one thing that most rape survivors have in common. They all laugh about the rape right after it happened because, well, I guess as E. Jean Carroll said, rape is sexy to women. I mean, this is just it's absolute insanity. It's a third time I've used the word, it's ludicrous. She also said that she hasn't had sex since it happened. So that's about 30 years ago. Now, while I am 100% certain I can go 30 years without having sex with E. Jean Carroll, I'm not positive E. Jean Carroll can go 30 years without having sex with somebody. And then the last part, in which maybe is the funniest, she is on record as saying Law and Order is her absolute favorite TV show. Well, folks, there is a 2012 episode of Law and Order SVU where the plot is this whole thing. It is about a woman who fakes a rape accusation in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room. And E. Jean Carroll, when asked about this, said, oh, well, I've not seen that episode. Now, granted, there are a lot of Law and Order episodes out there. Hey, I'll give you that. But it's her favorite show. She's never seen it, and it matches exactly the story she has about the man who would end up being the president of the United States raping her, that she releases during Me Too in 2018 when she has a new book out and is doing promotional work for the book. No, totally fraud, complete fraud. That Trump, obviously it's so clear why he was found not guilty, but that there was any civil liability over this is just absolutely unbelievable. Oh, and the last thing, I keep saying the last thing. Remember, she was only able to bring the case because the state of New York decided they would, for 1 year only, remove the statute of limitations on rape allegations. So they passed a law that said, hey, for 1 year, if you've been raped in the past and the statute of limitations has expired, well, you can go ahead and make the allegation again, and we'll bring criminal charges. That's the only way she was ever able to even get Trump in court. So when we talk about lawfare, when Trump says he's been railroaded, that lawfare has been carried out against him, what better evidence than there is E. Jean Carroll, the way they handled this, and this absolutely insane, ludicrous, deranged story about fake rape.